Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy vicslanghope, and I got another video for y'all. And this video is about my first day in college. And before I get into the video, let me give y'all a little context about how I got to college, right? Now, when I was upstate in prison, I started the college program, and I was bored. Plus, I had time to do it, so I said, why not? So I took the entry exam. I passed. I scored some good, some good grades, and then I didn't get the class that I wanted, which was a biology class. I didn't want to do English. I wanted to do biology, and because there was no more room in the classroom. Long story short, I didn't really get to do it. So when I got transferred to another facility, I met this woman, Katie. Shout outs to Katie, by the way. She kind of like the person that made me go to college, right? But anyway, I met this woman. She used to work for a college initiative. It used to be called Prisoner Reentry Institute. They changed the name, but I'm gonna put the link on the bottom for anybody that's interested from coming home to trying to go to college. They'll help you out with your college application form. They'll do a whole bunch of stuff. They give you an advisor, so you have assistance every step of the way for people that have been locked up and been through the system who want to go to college. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. So anyway, I met this woman at Queensboro. She was cool. We had a conversation. I took another entry exam. I scored very high on my essay, and she told me like, yo, I should go to college. But at the time, I was like, I don't got time to go to no college. Like I was like, I got beef when I go home. Like when you leave the town, when you leave the streets, you usually come back in the same way that you left. And when I left, I had beef in the streets. So I was telling her like, look, I'm gonna be homeless when I go home. I got beef. I'm pretty sure people probably want to still do something to me. So I was like, I ain't got time to go to school. Like, and she was just like, okay, like when you figure that stuff out, you should try to go to college. And I was just like, I don't know. But that wasn't really. I never really wanted to go. I just said I'm gonna go home. I'm Muslim. I'm gonna just get married, get a job, get married, and live my life happily ever after. Right? I didn't think I was gonna get into organizing. I didn't think I was gonna get into some revolutionary stuff. I didn't think I was going to go to school. So anyway, we exchanged, she gave me her information or whatever. So when I got out, she told me about this event called Beyond the Bars. Beyond the Bars is usually an event that's held at Columbia University. It's usually for people who, been incarcerated. It's about ending mass incarceration. So that's where I met Angela Davis. I got my favorite picture. I met Jamal Joseph, So I met a lot of other people who've been locked up before and were now out doing great things in the street, started organizations, businesses, and they did it. A lot of them did it through education. So it kind of like just being in Columbia University in the atmosphere around students and around people who've been locked up like me and were doing great things in the community. That made me feel good. It just gave me a different type of support system. So just being in Columbia, being on campus, I remember how that made me feel. I was like, yo, if this is how college feels, like I need to be in college, So my mind was expanding. I was changing. I was open to different things, and I'm so grateful for that relationship that I built with Katie, because it just changed my whole trajectory. Right? It just changed my whole perspective. I made new friends. I created new circles of support. Like it just changed my whole outlook on life. Right? So anyway. So I came home in January. By September, I was already enrolled. I guess I was kind of like too late to kind of like enroll in the spring semester. So what I did was I enrolled in the fall. So I went to LaGuardia Community College. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to Gutman. Gutman is it's by Bryant Park. It's like on 42nd or 40th Street. But they only had like about 300 seats. So I didn't get to go. So everybody told me to go to LaGuardia, right? So around the time when I went to Beyond the Bars, I met Corey, which he's one of the co-founders of Holla, How Our Lives Link All Together. That's one of the organizations that I used to work for. I even have the documentary linked at the bottom in my description. It's a documentary that Holla did when I was working there. I'm part of the documentary, so y'all should check it out if y'all didn't check it out. So anyway, yeah, I met Corey. I got a job with Holla. So a lot of things happened kind of quickly, all because I went to that conference Beyond the Bars. So it was very interesting. Anyway, I signed up for school. So college initiative helped me. They helped me go They helped me do the whole application. They at the time they was waiving the fee, so you didn't have to pay for the application. So it was a grateful thing to meet all those people at the conference. Long story short, my first day, I'm going to orientation. So LaGuardia is one of the biggest community colleges in the world. I mean, yeah, in the country. I'm not going to say in the world. In the country, it has about 19,000 students, and it's a 2-year college. So you already know it was crazy. It was off the chain. If you know what I'm... It was off the chain in there. You know what I'm saying? It was lit. Like, so I was in there. You know, I was looking a little young. I'm looking a little scruffy right now, but I looked a little young for my age. So I was about 25. So, you know, after coming home. So I looked a little young. A lot of people thought I came from high school. So people was like asking me like, yo, what high school you came from? And I was like, high school? I was like, I ain't come from high school. I mean, I ain't just telling you, I just came from the pen. You know what I mean? I ain't do that. But but I was like, yeah, I didn't come from high school. Like, you know, I wasn't in school. So they was like, oh, you look mad young. So I met this girl. We and her got mad cool. You know, it was nothing crazy, but we was mad cool though. She was about 19, I think, 19, 20. But we was mad cool. Like, you know, she was like kind of like fake antisocial. I'm always been a talkative person. But yeah, like me and her just started talking. We got mad cool. We exchanged information. But orientation was good. And then I met a brother, Mr. Rogers, and he was working for a place called BMEC, and it was called Black Male Empowerment Cooperative. And yeah, he was mad cool. Like, he approached me. He was like, yo, what's good, black brother? Like, you knew? And then, you know, he just introduced himself to me. He told me there was a community within college. It was like a little group, you know, for black people. It was other people too, but of course, you know, it was mainly black people that went there. And they help with like scholarships, and they just help with mentorship, and they help with certain things. So it was like a communal thing, you know, like, so I got connected to BMAC. I met a lot of people through them. I made a lot of friends. Like, so it was just the first day was just like, I just got introduced to people. People was connecting me to people. We did a whole tour. We went to the gym. By the way, LaGuardia won the chip like 2 times. You know what I'm saying? While I was there. But yeah, like, it was just a beautiful experience. It was a big campus. It was like a community, man. It was a community away from a community. I met so many different people. And I think, like I said, it definitely changed the trajectory in which I went. I met new friends that didn't think like people in the hood, you know, even though they might have come from the hood, right? You got to have a certain different mindset to make it to college, if I make sense, right? A lot of people in the hood don't even be thinking about college. Not saying that there's not people in the hood that don't go to college, but I'm just saying a lot of people just don't be thinking about that, right? Like, sometimes they graduate high school and they just be thinking about work, or maybe that's just what they have to do. But I think you got to have a certain mindset to make it to college. And I think these are the people that I was kind of around, right? And there's some hood people that be in college and they just be, you know, they do whatever they do. They be not really paying attention in school, or they'll just be, you know, bringing their nonsense to college. But for the most part, it was a beautiful community. I met a lot of beautiful friends. I got into a whole bunch of things. At one point, I even became the president of the Black Student Union. So I got a whole bunch of good memories and good friendships and good, you know, events that I went to in college. So it was definitely a beautiful thing, and it definitely shaped me and changed my direction. Not saying that I was gonna go back to the streets and do certain things, but I just felt like it definitely helped to be in college. You know, it was kind of like my safe space. You know, it was the place where I get to have a breath of fresh air. You know, it just was so different. Like, when I was in college, I just felt that peace. You know, plus at the same time I was staying at the shelter. So the shelter was like a depressing place. I felt like I was still in prison. I had to go to metal detectors. Like, you know, I had to be in there at a certain time. So it was curfew. It's, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. So college definitely offered me a breath of fresh air coming home from prison. So I encourage a lot of people. I tell a lot of people, man, like, if you get the opportunity and the availability, you should try to be in college, man. I'm not saying that college is going to be for everybody. I'm not saying that it's going to work for everybody. But even some of the top millionaires or billionaires went to school and dropped out. You know, so sometimes college is just a part of the roadmap, and you never know who you're going to meet in college. And shoot, you might like it. You might finish. You might graduate. So yeah, it's definitely a beautiful place to meet people, to organize, to you know, to network. I think that's what it's not just about going to school and going to class and getting good grades. College is a community. If you spend time around people, if you get to know people, if you go to events, if you network, if you organize, if you talk to people, become part of the community. And I guarantee you it would change your life. Like, it would change your whole outlook in a lot of things. And sometimes some people don't finish. Some people just go and they might meet the right person, or they take the right internship. But you probably should finish. I'm 3 classes away still. I stopped going during the pandemic. I probably should have. I regret it. But definitely it's nevertheless, I don't got no complaints. I will tell you my story about my suspension. It was crazy, but that's a whole nother story. But I definitely do encourage my friends from the hood. I always tell them, like, yo, like, it would change your whole life, just to be around different people who think differently and just are into different things, So I'm definitely grateful for the experience. I loved it. I enjoyed myself, and I think other people should be open to it. So let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and let's keep the ball rolling. I'm definitely gonna tell you about my suspension story. Peace.